Good morning, my dear children. So now, let us continue with the lesson Bholi. In my previous class, we had an introduction about who Bholi is and what kind of a girl she was. She was a very innocent girl with not much of intelligence, not very good looking, and she was not even going to any school. She was at home, neglected by other members of the family. But one day, the Tehsildar visits their house for the inauguration of a primary school for the girls. And he suggests her father, Ramlal, to send his daughters to the school. And that is how Bholi is sent to the new school in the village. Now, in the school, what happens is what we need to learn in the next part of the story. So let us continue with the story, my dear children. Bholi did not know what exactly a school was like and what happened there. But she was glad to find so many girls, almost of her own age. She hoped that one of these girls might become her friend. The lady teacher, who was in the class, was saying something to the girls, but Bholi could understand nothing. She looked at the pictures on the wall. The colors fascinated her. The horse was brown, just like the horse on which the Tehsildar had come to visit their village. The goat was black, like the goat of their neighborhood. The parrot was green, like the parrot she had seen in the mango orchard. And the cow was just like their Lakshmi. And suddenly Bholi noticed that the teacher was standing by her side, smiling at her. Now here, it's a situation in the classroom, the first day of school for Bholi. Bholi saw many girls of her own age and she wondered if she gets a friend from them. And she was looking at the pictures on the walls. The teacher was telling something, but Bholi was not able to understand. But when she saw the pictures, she is trying to relate each picture to what she had seen earlier. Now here she says the horse was exactly like the horse on which the Tehsildar had come. The goat was the one like what she had seen in her neighbor's house. The parrot was like the one she had seen on the mango trees. The cow was just like her Lakshmi. And by the time she was imagining all these things, she saw somebody standing behind her. It was her teacher. "What's your name, little one?" "Bho, bho, bho, bho." She could stammer no further than that. Now the teacher is asking her the name. Then she began to cry and tears flowed from her eyes in a helpless flood. She kept her head down as she sat in her corner, not daring to look up at the girls who she knew were still laughing at her. Now, since Bholi, in the beginning of the story, we learned that she stammers, she can't speak properly. So she says, "Bho, bho, bho." And further, she couldn't speak because of the fear. And now she started crying. She was very scared. And she was putting her head down because she was not ready to look at the other girls because she knew that they would be laughing at her. When the school bell rang, all the girls scurried out of the classroom, but the Bholi dared not leave her corner. Her head still lowered, she kept on sobbing. Now once the bell rings, all the other girls run out of the classroom, but she was still at the corner of the classroom, bending her head and sobbing. She was still crying. "Bholi?" The teacher's voice was so soft and soothing. In all her life, she had never been called like that. It touched her heart. Now the teacher, in a very soft voice, calls her, "Bholi?" "Get up," said the teacher. It was not a command, but just a friendly suggestion. Bholi got up. Now, Bholi is experiencing this for the first time in her life because nobody had spoken to her like that. Instead, everybody used to shout at her. Now, Bholi is telling, "Get up." And that get up was not commanding her, but it was a friendly way of telling her to get up. "Now, tell me your name." Now she says, please tell me your name. Sweat broke out over her whole body. Would her stammering tongue again disgrace her? For the sake of this kind woman, however, she decided to make an effort. She had such a soothing voice, she would not laugh at her. Now, Bholi is scared. Bholi started sweating because she was worried. Will she stammer again? But for this lady who has a very nice voice, so nicely she speaks, she wanted to speak for her. Bho, 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 she began to stammer. Again she started stammering. Well done, well done. The teacher encouraged her. Come on, now the full name. But the teacher didn't laugh at her. Instead, she encouraged her to tell her name. Bholi. At last she was able to say it and felt relieved, as if it was a great achievement. At last Bholi was successful in telling her full name. Well done. The teacher patted her affectionately and said, put the fear out of your heart and you will be able to speak like everyone else. Then she says, see, don't be scared. Remove that fear from your mind or your heart. Then you can talk like others. Bholi looked up as if to ask, really? Now at these words of the teacher, Bholi just looks up to as if say, is it true? Yes, yes, it will be very easy. You just come to school every day. Will you come? Now the teacher says, yes, it's not going to be difficult, but you have to come to school every day. Will you come? Bholi nodded. No. Say it aloud. Now teacher says, you cannot just nod your head, just tell. Yes. And Bholi herself was astonished that she had been able to say it. Now Bholi tells yes. And she was really shocked that she is able to talk. Didn't I tell you? Now take this book. Now teacher says, see, I told you, no, you can talk. Now take this book. The book was full of nice pictures and the pictures were in color. Dog, cat, goat, horse, parrot, tiger and a cow, just like Lakshmi. And with every picture was a word in big black letters. In 1 month you will be able to read this book. Then I'll give you a bigger book. Then a still bigger one. In time you will be more learned than anyone else in this village. Then no one will be able to laugh at you. People will listen to you with respect and you will be able to speak without the slightest stammer. Understand? Now go home and come back early tomorrow morning. Now the teacher says, giving her the book. The book had beautiful pictures with black letters. And she says, you read this book. In 1 month you will be able to read this. And after that, the teacher will give bigger and bigger books and you will become an educated girl. And nobody will disrespect you. Everybody will listen to you. And you will be able to talk without any problem at all. So teacher says you go home and come back tomorrow morning. Bholi felt as if suddenly all the bells in the village temple were ringing and the trees in front of the schoolhouse had blossomed into big red flowers. Her heart was throbbing with a new hope and a new life. Suddenly Bholi felt something very different, my dear children. She was feeling as if the bells in the temple were ringing and the trees had completely blossomed with flowers due to happiness. For the first time, Bholi was feeling something new in her life. Thus, the years passed. The village became a small town. The little primary school became a high school. There were now a cinema under a tin shed and a cotton ginning mill. The mail train began to stop at their railway station. Now years passed and things in the village changed. How it changed? The village became a small town and cinema started coming to the village. There was a cotton mill and the train started stopping at their railway station. One night after dinner, Ramlal said to his wife. Now there is a discussion between Ramlal and his wife. Then Shall I accept Bishambar's proposal? Now Ramlal is asking, shall I accept Bishambar's proposal? Yes, certainly, his wife said. Bholi will be lucky to get such a well-to-do bridegroom. A big shop, a house of his own, and I hear several thousands in the bank. Moreover, he is not asking for any dowry. Now there is a proposal for Bholi to get married. It is by a person named Bishambar. Now Ramlal and his wife are having a talk to get Bholi married. Then Ramlal's wife says, yes, he is well to do. He is having a own house, everything. You can just agree for his proposal. That's right, but he is not so young, almost the same age as I am. And he also limps. Moreover, the children from his first wife are quite grown up. Now what kind of a proposal has Bholi got? Bholi has not got a young man for his proposal, but he is an old man, as old as Bholi's father, and he has quite big children from his first wife, and moreover he cannot walk properly. He limps. So what does it matter? His wife replied, 45 or 50. It is no great age for a man. We are lucky that he is from another village and does not know about her pockmarks and her lack of sense. If we don't accept this proposal, she may remain unmarried all her life. Now the wife replies, telling that just 45 or 50, no, that's not a big age. And not only that, he doesn't know that Bholi is not beautiful. She is an ugly girl. And if we don't get her married to him, she will remain a unmarried girl for the entire of her life. Yes, but I wonder what Bholi will say. What will that witless one say? She is like a dumb cow. Maybe you are right, muttered Ramlal. In the other corner of the courtyard, Bholi lay awake on her cot, listening to her parents' whispered conversation. Now her mother says, what will she say? She will agree for everything. Then this conversation is overheard by Bholi. Now let us see who this Bishambar is. Bishambar Nath was a well-to-do grocer. He came with a big party of friends and relations with him for the wedding. Now the wedding is fixed. Bishambar Nath is a rich man. He is a well-to-do grocer. He comes with a big party of friends for the wedding. A brass band playing a popular tune from an Indian film headed the procession, with the bridegroom riding a decorated horse. Ramlal was overjoyed to see such pomp and splendor. He had never dreamt that his fourth daughter would have such a grand wedding. Bholi's elder sisters, who had come for the occasion, were envious of her luck. Now this man was a very rich man, so there was lot of pomp and splendor, in the sense he had spent lot of money on procession and everything. And Ramlal was really very happy that Bholi's marriage was happening with so much of festivities. Bholi's elder sisters were also jealous of Bholi's luck. When the auspicious moment came, the priest said, bring the bride. Now the marriage ceremony is happening. The priest is there to perform the rituals, and when the auspicious moment comes, the priest says, bring the bride. Bholi, clad in a red silken bridal dress, was led to the bride's place near the sacred fire. Now we all know, in the Indian custom, you have a groom sitting there and the bride comes next to him, and the garlanding ceremony occurs. Garland the bride, one of his friends prompted Bishambar Nath. The bridegroom lifted the garland of yellow marigolds. A woman slipped back the silken veil from the bride's face. Bishambar took a quick glance. The garland remained poised in his hands. The bride slowly pulled down the veil over her face. Now the bridegroom is about to put the garland. A woman just pulls her veil. A veil is a covering on the head which covers the bride's face, and Bishambar just holds the garland. "Have you seen her?" said Bishambar to the friend next to him. "She has pockmarks on her face." So Bishambar says, "Hey, she's having lot of marks on her face. So what? You're not young either." "Maybe, but if I am to marry her, her father must give me 5,000 rupees. Now immediately Bishambar changes his mind. He says, no, I cannot marry this girl. She has pockmarks on her face and she's not very beautiful. Her father has to give me a dowry of 5,000 rupees. Ramlal went and placed his turban, his honor, at Bishambar's feet. "Do not humiliate me so. Take 2,000 rupees. Now Ramlal removes his turban. Turban is a thing on the head. A turban is worn on the head. He removes the turban and keeps it at Bishambar's feet and says, no, you please take 2,000 rupees. "No, 5,000 or we go back. Keep your daughter. Be a little considerate. Please, if you go back, I can never show my face in the village." Then out with 5,000. Tears streaming down his face, Ramlal went in, opened the safe and counted out the notes. He placed the bundle at bridegroom's feet. Now Ramlal goes and brings the money and keeps it on the feet of Bishambar. On Bishambar's greedy face appeared a triumphant smile. He had gambled and won. "Give me the garland," he announced. Now, after getting 5,000 rupees dowry from his father-in-law, he was ready to marry Bholi. He says, "Give the garland." Once again the veil was slipped back from the bride's face, but this time her eyes were not downcast. Now again the veil was removed from the bride's face for garlanding. She was looking up, looking straight at her prospective husband, and in her eyes there was neither anger nor hate, only cold contempt. Bishambar raised the garland to place it around the bride's neck, but before he could do so, Bholi's hand struck out like a streak of lightning and the garland was flung into the fire. She got up and threw away the veil. Now, when Bishambar was about to garland her, she just gives a strike on the garland and throws it into the fire. "Pitaji," said Bholi in a clear, loud voice, and her father, mother, sisters, brothers and relations were startled to hear her speak without the slightest stammer. "Pitaji, take back your money. I am not going to marry this man." Now Bholi says, "Pitaji, please take back this money. I will not be marrying this man." Ramlal was thunderstruck. The guests began to whisper, "So shameless, so ugly and so shameless." So guests started whispering, "Hey, what a kind of girl she is. She's so ugly and she's not even worried about her father." "Bholi, are you crazy?" shouted Ramlal. "You want to disgrace your family? Have you some regard for our izzat?" Now he says, "Are you worried? Are you not worried about the izzat of this family?" Izzat means the regard for your family. "For the sake of your izzat," said Bholi, "I was willing to marry this lame old man. But I will not have such a mean, greedy and contemptible coward as my husband. I won't. What a shameless girl. We all thought she was a harmless dumb cow." Bholi turned violently on the old woman. Now Bholi says, "Yes, I was ready to marry because you told me, because this house needs it. But now I cannot marry such a greedy man. I cannot." By then an old woman is whispering, "We all thought that she's a harmless cow. But how come she became so smart?" Bholi turned violently. She was angry. "Yes, auntie, you are right. You all thought I was a dumb-driven cow. That's why you wanted to hand me over to this heartless creature. But now the dumb cow, the stammering fool, is speaking. Do you want to hear more?" Bishambar Nath, the grocer, started to go back with his party. The confused bandsman thought This was the end of the ceremony and struck up a closing song. Ramlal stood rooted to the ground, his head bowed low with the weight of grief and shame. The flames of the sacred fire slowly died down. Everyone was gone. Ramlal turned to Bholi and said, "But what about you? No one will ever marry you now. And what shall we do with you?" Now Ramlal says, "You send them back, but who is going to marry you now? Everything is over. What will happen next?" And Sulekha said in a voice that was calm and steady, "Don't you worry, Pitaji. In your old age, I will serve you and mother, and I will teach in the same school where I learnt so much. Isn't that right, ma'am?" Now she says, "Don't worry, Pitaji. In your old age, I'll be your person who can take care of you. I will take care of you and mother. So don't worry about it. And I'll go and teach in the same school where I learnt. Isn't it, ma'am?" The teacher had all along stood in a corner watching the drama. "Yes, Bholi, of course," she replied. The teacher is watching all this from the side of the drama, what is happening. She replied, and in her smiling eyes was a light of deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of her masterpiece. So all the credit goes to the teacher who brought out Bholi in such a wonderful way. Bholi, who was a very innocent and wisdomless girl, now has turned out to be a bold and energetic girl who can stand on her own feet. And the teacher feels very happy and very satisfied. The story is written by K.A. Abbas. The notes will be sent to you, my dear children. Please ensure that you copy down the notes in your notebooks. And the same has to be submitted after the reopening. Thank you.